This is Mike Downing from Bear Pop Comics, and I'm going over a little bit more of my personal collection. As you know, I like the graphic novels, the indies especially. So we did some of it a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was last week. We're going to go over it a little bit more. So, as I told you about this character, Noctera, well, that's not actually the character's name, that's the name of the book. But I believe her name is, let's take a look inside for a minute. Let's take a look inside. It may be something like Val. Well, basically, we won't go into that. It's basically about an apocalyptic time, and you have this tractor trailer driver, which is what she is, and there's these creatures from another dimension that have taken over Earth. So pretty much she has to get like supplies to the camps where the humans are hiding out, and they have another source of a group that works with her to keep these monsters from taking out the supplies and killing them. And it's a main villain called Blacktop Bill. It's real interesting. It has like a video game feel with a little bit of aliens involved. So this was volume 1. Volume 2, Pedal to the Metal. The art in it is amazing. And I wound up picking up all 3 volumes. Volume 3, No Breaks. I was going to say No Holds Barred. I have these books on sale on eBay, the single issues. So at the Bear Pop Comics store. So if you ever want to go check that out, check it out. Okay, this book here, very interesting book, Bitter Root. They say that the new movie, what's it called? Sinners, is kind of like the style of this book. It's been compared to this book. So I haven't seen that movie yet. I want to check it out. But until I check it out, I can reread some of these. This is a good story, though. They were taking out monsters. As you can see, it's kind of a timepiece. And I would say it's in the 20s, maybe 20s or 30s. And this black family, they're like scientists and a little bit of street warriors, and they're taking out these monsters that are created by hate and prejudice. Very interesting concept. So this was volume 1. Okay, and I managed to pull up volume 2. Okay, and I also have volume 3. So I have the whole complete run of Bitter Root, unless they're bringing out another series of it. I don't have that yet, but I have these. Okay, here is a couple of indie books that I got. I'll put these out here so you can see them. Horizon. I have not read this one yet, but I picked it up, and it was, I like the covers, and as you can see, it has like a futuristic feel. I like that kind of stuff. Anything like that, it's me. I'm all over it. And it's by the team of Brandon Thomas, Juan Gideon, and Frank Martin. Also an Image comic book. This was volume 1. And now we go with the classic standbys, the Uncanny X-Men, the Good, the Bad, and the Inhuman. This very dramatic cover. Pick this up. I did start reading this. This was good. This is called Black. And the guy on the cover with the hoodie has like these special powers. And it looks, I believe this book came out during the Black Lives Matter movement. And, you know, good book. I haven't finished it yet. I believe this was it might be volume 3. I might have to go back and dig this up a little bit more. Not sure. Let's look at the spine. It says Smith 3. I can't pronounce the first name, so this is probably volume 3. Okay, we're getting into some Marvel. This I did read. Marvel Knights, Defenders of the Streets. This was real good. Real good. You have the Marvel Knights run of Daredevil, Punisher, Cloak and Dagger. You have Shang-Chi and Black Widow. This was a good book. You might can find this on eBay. I'm not sure. Now it's a little bit more Marvel. These are some classic Marvels. This is the Spider-Man Epic Collection, Spider-Man or Spider-Clone. And this was, what part was this? Let's turn this around. This is volume 9. This deals with the whole death of Gwen Stacy. Not the death of Gwen Stacy. When Gwen Stacy comes back as a clone, and you have the Jackal in there, and I think this has the reprint of the first appearance of the Punisher. Let me take a look inside and see. Hold on. Hold on in a few minutes. No, this one does not. But it does deal with after the Punisher's first appearance and the Jackal when they come into play. Now, the original one of these books, these are reprints of 70s issues of the Spider-Man run with Ross Andrews art. These books can get pricey when you try to find them by themselves. They usually average about $10 an issue or more, depending. So I had some of them, flipped them, and I plan to get more, but right now, this is good. Okay, moving right along. This is a classic collection of Captain America from the 70s. And as you see the three, I would say the three amigos together. This was before Falcon had became an Avenger. So it's kind of like the book went up in value when the Avengers movies started to come out, because you see two black superheroes, the two earlier black superheroes from Marvel, Black Panther and the Falcon, and you see Captain America. And this has the first appearance of the villain Moonstone before they changed Moonstone to a female. So, good book. I've read all this when I was a kid, so I had to collect it together. Okay, and then I have another classic set of, this is strictly a graphic novel based on Spider-Man versus the Black Cat, which was the first appearance of Felicia Hardy in the Spider-Man run. So I managed to stumble on that. And I'm not going to give it up until I can get another epic collection that goes even past that. Okay, going back to classic 70s again, because that was more the 80s right there. This one is the 70s, is Daredevil, and the villain on the front cover is Mr. Fear. That was from the early 70s. He was like Marvel's version of the Scarecrow. Scarecrow had fear gas. He had like a pellet that he shot from a gun, and similar effects. It would react on you later. But this is one of Daredevil's villains from the early 70s. And you also have a lot of people he tangled with the early 70s. You also have Angar Screamer in there. He was like this powered hippie from the Cree that had psychedelic screams. It's really interesting. But anyway, I managed to pull this up, and I like the classic Daredevil stuff. So, and once again, the issues are expensive. If you get them by themselves, they kind of high. Okay, and here's another. I forgot I even bought this here. This is another epic collection of Spider-Man, and I tell you, I forgot I even picked this one up. This is the death of Captain Stacy. So this is a lot of the Spider-Man stuff from the late 60s, early 70s. And this has a lot of John Romita Sr. art in here. And I think it's the classic issue that, the reprint of the classic issue that they didn't put the comics code on because it talked about drugs. So, yeah. This, I forgot I even bought this book. Wow. I'm glad I looked because I would have probably wound up buying it again. And the last one I picked up was, now this one is the Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection. The one we just looked at was volume one before it. Let's bring it back down for a minute. This was volume 6. This one here is volume 8. So I probably have 7, or we might have looked at, no, that wasn't 7. I have 7 somewhere around here, I don't know. One of them was real expensive. The eBay price, I think that was volume 7. The eBay price for volume 7 was, it was really, really high. It was like almost $100 something. No, it was like close to $300. And I said that there's no way I would pay that for a reprint, a book of reprints. But, these average about $15 to $30. But this one has the classic first appearance of the Punisher reprint in there. And it was just a must-have. I had this issue when I was a kid. So I even had the first appearance of the Punisher. Who knew it was going to be that much when I went to try to get it again, because I definitely didn't go to sell it. So while you're looking at that, I have a few minutes left, so I'm going to dig through some of the other books in the collection of my graphic novel. I have more, but I didn't bring everything out of the other room. So we're going to try to dig up a couple of more things that I didn't share with you yet. I think I see some in this box down here, because this is my whole upper level collection. This is the stuff I keep upstairs and not within the studio. Okay, so we have a nice little amount here. Okay, so we're going to move on to another stack. We still got, try to go up to at least 25 minutes, something like that. All right, we have Batman Detective Comics, Volume 7, Anarchy. I'm always a fan of Batman. I don't do a lot of DC, but I will do Batman. Move the Batman right there over. This I just picked up because I just like collections like this with the Avengers or different books, and they give you the background of the characters. I just like that kind of stuff. And it has the ultimate character guide from everybody that joined the Avengers. I got a little stain up there. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so this was a good book. It's not really a story. It's just more like, you get like the origins of the different characters, the villains and the heroes. You see the Falcon over there, and then they got the Executioner. So, I just liked it. Okay, we have, I didn't really want to take these out the plastic, but I have a set of Witchblade. That was another Image comic. So I have volume 8. And we have, this cover's crazy, volume 2. Good art, but the eyes, when they're like, sheesh. They did a good job. It looks like it's glowing. Yeah, but it's an excellent cover. Let's get some more stuff up here. Okay. We have, I read this book twice. Daredevil, Guardian Devil. This was a good book. It had Mysterio in here. And if you know anything about Mysterio, he's always playing mind games. He had Daredevil messed up and he did something to Foggy Nelson. I'm not going to tell you the book, but this was a real good read. And Black Widow is also in this book. And the last book that I might have a little bit more time. Hold on. I have Hulk No More. This was when Ed McGuinness and Jeff Loeb, I like Ed McGuinness's art, they was working on the Hulk. And what they did was they had a story run where I think it was the Game Master had Tiger Shark, T-Rex, who else was the other villain? Let's look inside. But what you see here is the original Defenders. This is from the early 70s, before the Disney series that Marvel had of the Defenders. That was the newer one. These were the original runs of the Defenders. So I'm trying to get these villains for you. Yeah, it was Tiger Shark, which fought Submariner. Red Hulk, that's who it was, that fought the Hulk. Baron Mordo, who took on the original Doctor Strange, and the Silver Surfer took on T-Rex, which they were both heralds of Galactus at one time. So this was a good book. As you can see by the art, they did their thing with this art. And we have more, but not that much more, because I'm doing this video and it is a late night for me and I'm running out of steam. So last one I'm gonna go, last group is Red Hulk, another Loeb and McGuinness collector's item right there. Very good. We have good old Wolverine to end it out with. Weapon X. This is the run with Mark Silvestri in the 90s. Wolverine is Weapon X, and it has his tight friendship with Boom Boom. I think it was Boom Boom. Was it Boom Boom? Yeah, from the X-Men. Okay, or Jubilee. It might have been Jubilee. Let's take a look. We got some time. Might have been Jubilee. I really think, yep, it was Jubilee. No. Yeah, I believe that's Jubilee. Yes. So, this is the Mark Silvestri run. Okay. And I have a classic one, and I find these single issues every once in a while. Of the Enemy of the State Wolverine, where John Romita Jr. did the art, and he got taken over by the Hand, and he was on the Shield helicarrier, just causing havoc. And then he battles this villain called the Gorgon, and this guy he's real cool, but This is only part of my personal collection. So as I was talking to you, I believe when we ran over some of this stuff, the battery was I had hit the battery for the mic and it might have went out. So just in case for video purposes, um, we're going back over the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 8. Sorry. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6. Daredevil, and these are all Epic Collections. Volume 5. I'm just recapping some of these. Spider-Man versus the Black Cat. That was a special graphic novel issue. And I think this is right here where the volume started to flash. I'm not quite sure. Captain America, Secret Empire, Epic Collection, Volume 5. And I think this is the last one I need to go over because we just might have had some audio issues. And Spider-Man, the beginning of the Clone Wars. And this was Epic Collection Volume 9.